This just in, as a small service business owner, you have probably spent the last year watching massive corporations excitedly fire their staff, replace them with generative AI, and smugly declare that they have achieved ultimate productivity. It looked like they discovered a magical cheat code for infinite wealth. But as the dust finally settles, it turns out that they didn't discover a cheat code at all. They just poisoned their own water supply. According to a deeply satisfying report by Harvard Business Review, companies that went all in on generative AI tools are currently suffering from a brutal system-wide workslop problem. Their desperate pursuits to reassure investors that they are riding the bleeding edge of tech has triggered a catastrophic deterioration of organizational knowledge, causing their internal processes to literally rot from the inside out. As a StoryBrand certified guide, I'm constantly watching desperate business owners try to save a few dollars by outsourcing their critical thinking to a hallucinating algorithm, only to watch their company's core competency completely evaporate. So let's rip apart the absolute disaster of the corporate slopification, explore why hiring humans to babysit incompetent robots is bankrupting the tech industry, and discuss how you can use human strategy to survive a market drowning in automated decay. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrand certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. And I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of efforts that drives 80% of the results. All so that your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. But let's be honest, if your messaging is confusing or tries to say everything at once, your ideal clients will instantly ignore you. That's what my 5-minute marketing fix was built to solve. So stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, why is your company drowning in digital soup? If you think you can blindly delegate your company's intellectual labor to a machine without paying a massive psychological toll, you are entirely delusional. The Harvard Business Review recently pointed out that over-relying on AI proves absolutely disastrous for organizational knowledge, which is the critical business insight a company actually needs to survive and make strategic decisions. They dubbed this terrifying phenomenon knowledge decay. It is a dangerous, inescapable downward spiral that starts when workers use AI to produce low-quality work. That mediocre output then gets fed into the next project, which wastes colleagues' time, erodes trust, and gradually slopifies the entire organization's accumulated knowledge into a worthless, unusable soup. When you multiply that subtle degradation across entire departments, a business's final output physically starts to crumble. The company stops being an entity that solves complex problems and devolves into a mindless factory producing generic, context-free sludge that nobody actually wants to consume. So, are you paying humans to babysit incompetent robots? Because you were promised a frictionless, automated utopia where robots did all the heavy lifting, allowing your staff to sip margaritas on a beach. But the reality looks a lot more like a digital hostage situation. Even in the early days of the AI boom, experts desperately warned that employees would end up spending more time hunting down errors made by unreliable, hallucinating AI tools than if they had just done the work themselves. That warning has officially come true. Errors violently compound and pile up, and the time spent verifying basic facts skyrockets. Some companies have literally resorted to hiring human workers specifically to fix the catastrophic errors generated by the AI they hired to replace their human workers. And eventually, employees completely lose trust in the processes they rely on to do their jobs. Disillusioned workers forced to use AI against their will while watching the labor market deteriorate are suffering from rock bottom morale, and some are even actively sabotaging the tech at work. So how did hiring become a completely broken nightmare? If managing your current workforce sounds like a dystopian nightmare, wait until you try to hire someone new using the exact same broken tools. AI was supposed to streamline the recruitment of qualified candidates, rapidly sorting through resumes to find the perfect fit. Instead, it has turned the entire hiring pipeline into an impenetrable quagmire. Because both sides of the equation are now aggressively using AI, applicants using it to spam thousands of generic resumes and recruiters using it to blindly filter them out, the entire system has collapsed into a meaningless loop of robots talking to robots. The overall impact of AI augmenting each step of the recruitment journey is that trust has sunk to absolute all-time lows. And you cannot build a functional, highly skilled human team when the front door of your company is guarded by a hallucinating algorithm that filters out genuine talent in favor of AI-optimized keyword slop. So how do you survive the ultimate corporate hangover? The early hype about AI leading to a massive productivity revolution and making human labor a thing of the past has been violently stripped away. Companies that fully embrace the AI hype circle are now suffering from a massive corporate hangover, forced to desperately pick up the pieces and meticulously verify their own data just to avoid deteriorating into total irrelevancy. You must realize that the ultimate competitive advantage right now is the undeniable emotional signal of real, verified human competence. To command premium pricing and generate fierce loyalty, you must position yourself as an empathetic, highly skilled guide who actually reads, thinks, and creates original value. You need a clear structural foundation to secure your brand identity before the temptation of an automated shortcut rots your business from the inside out. So get my 5-minute marketing fix. This rapid diagnostic tool uses your actual human beating heart to craft a crystal clear story brand one-liner. It gives you a standardized, reliable framework to firmly anchor your message. Remember, you cannot prompt your way to customer trust. Prove to your buyers that your business isn't a careless, rotting factory of digital slop, but a fiercely authentic human operation that actually does the work. Okay, but what about you? What is the most embarrassing example of a company publishing Workslop because they trusted an AI instead of a human? I'll go first. Remember when CNET decided to quietly use an AI tool to write dozens of financial explainer articles, only to have actual journalists point out that the robot was making massive, basic math errors about compound interest? They had to issue 41 separate corrections and essentially assign a team of highly paid human editors to clean up the automated disaster. Okay, your turn. What comes to mind for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, you might like this one too. It's about paying for an expert but getting a ChatGPT prompt and why AI is a betrayal of trust. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.